Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdall back with you. Hope you're having a good one. Anyways, we got the Red Wings tied with the Senators 3-3 going into the second intermission, or soon emerging from the second intermission to start the third period. A lot of scoring today. 3 goals in the first period, 3 goals in the second. 4 power play goals, including goals from Dylan Cousins, Axel Sandin Pellikka, not Lucas Raymond, James Van Riemsdyk, and Shane Pinto. So it's kind of surprising a little bit to see this kind of that many power play goals. I mean, you got the special teams working their asses off tonight, but shots on goal, Wings advantage by about 5 shots. Face-off percentage favors the Senators power play. Senators are 2 of 3. Wings are 2 of 4. Penalty minutes pretty much the same. They're being out hit slightly. Block shots. Wings are blocking more shots. Giveaways, 13 giveaways to 8. Takeaways, two takeaways to 4. You got to fix that stuff, Red Wings. You got to fix that kind of stuff, but even that's not that bad. But one thing I wanted to talk about was this. This is from moneypuck.com. This is the Red Wings playoff chances. They're 75.4%. That's their chance to make the playoffs. 33.2% to get into the second round, 14.5% to make it to the third round. Make the finals is 6.4%. I'm not sure what their playoff chances were at this point in the season last year. I'm sure they're probably maybe similar. The Wings, did look kind of like a wagon for certain stretches last year before their late season collapse. But let's take a look at some of these other teams here. You got the Sharks on the board. Kind of surprising. They're kind of a little bit of a turnaround story, but we have Bruins and the Maple Leafs here rounding out the original 6 and whatnot. This guy here, Boston has 2 more points than the Leafs. They played one more game than the Leafs. That gives them a 36.6% better chance of making the playoffs. So I guess it does by whatever. This is always going to inspire a lot of arguments, a lot of shit, but focus on the Red Wings right now. We can say, we have, the Tampa Bay Lightning leading us by 2 points. They have a 23% better chance of making the playoffs than we do. I'm not sure how all these stats are compiled. I'm sure it has to do with maybe roster spots or maybe some of the other some of the advanced stats, maybe their expected goals or maybe their goaltending is better. I'm not sure. I know John Gibson, we've been riding his hot hand for a while now. But, taking a look at the standings here, right now, the Lightning are 2 points ahead of us. They won 11 in a row. It's been absolutely insane. They're 9-0-1 their last 10. Red Wings have been doing good too. They're 7-2-1 their last 10. They're deadlocked with the Senators as I'm recording this, but we'll see how this game goes. Canadians rounding up the top 3, 61 points. Bruins 58 points. We see the Sabres, Maple Leafs, Panthers, and Senators. All these teams are above 500, which is kind of crazy, but you can see there's definitely a lot of separation. It was really hotly contested in this division for a long time. Sabres were climbing up. Maple Leafs were climbing up a little bit. I mean, Maple Leafs have been down most of the year. So have the Panthers. Senators, they were climbing for a little bit. It's been kind of back and forth, but Wings have held on to that spot, that top 2, top 3 spot for quite a while now. It's good to see it's good to see consistent hockey from the Red Wings, especially this late in the season. We got the Olympic break coming up pretty soon, but let's take a look at some of these games that we have scheduled for us. We got the Senators tonight, Maple Leafs tomorrow night. Maple Leafs are, they're not bad, but they're definitely taking a step back. Obviously lose Mitch Marner, some roster movements around there. A lot of things, happened in the Leafs offseason last season. And I know some of their fans, Steve Dangle and whatnot have been, coming down pretty hard on the team. But Red Wings got the Wild. Wild are really, really, really good this year. One of the best teams in that division, that Central Western Division, where the Avalanche, Wild, and Stars round up that top 3. The top 3 best teams in the league, possibly. Then we got the Jets. Jets are hot garbage. I don't know what happens to the Jets this year. Kings are pretty decent. That should be a good game. Capitals have their moments. We caught them last game we won with them. They were I think they had like a 5-game losing streak. So, Ovi's still on the team. He's still setting records and whatnot. Then we got a back-to-back with the Avalanche coming up. Pretty wild. But that should be interesting to see. I'm excited to see how the Red Wings can handle the Avalanche. Our last back-to-back against the Penguins was an absolute disaster, but the Wings recovered from that, and they've done very well since. I'm not sure what their record is. I know they were like 13-1-2 in December or something like that, or they're like 10. I don't know, but I don't know the exact numbers. But let's take another look at this playoff picture here, or the playoff chances here. But we see, if you were to tell me that the Buffalo Sabres had a better chance of making the playoffs than the Florida Panthers at this time of the season, I would not have believed you. I would have thought you were smoking crack. So we can see that. You see the Dallas at 99.2%, Wild at 99.3%, Avalanche at 100%. They say, Columbus is, people are saying, Columbus is better than the Predators, but the Predators have a higher playoff percentage. As we read that one comment, the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't really that much worse than the Boston Bruins. Their playoff percentage should be higher. I think the Wings' playoff chances should be a little bit higher. I know I'm a homer, but it's still kind of nutty to me. But you see some of this, like, especially in the Western Conference. Let's take a look at some of these Western Conference teams here. But the Golden Knights, they're the best in the Pacific Division. They have a higher chance, and they're at 97% to make the playoffs. And behind them are the Oilers. The Oilers have a 85.7% chance to make the playoffs, and then it's the Kings, I believe. My bad. No, the Kraken and the Sharks. Kings down. There's a little bit of the middle of the Pacific Division's a bit tight. Got 4 teams sitting at 51 points exactly. Got the Canucks, who are an absolute dumpster fire. They still have a 0.1% chance of making the playoffs. They are not eliminated officially yet, but I mean, we can pretty much write them off. But yeah, we see some of their teams. I mean, are the Kraken that much better than the Sharks and that much better than the Ducks? The Kings, they're tied in points pretty much with the Ducks. But let's take a look. These West Coast teams, but yeah, they have a better. Kings still have a 20% better chance of making the playoffs than the Ducks. I'm not sure all this is compiled. Now I know before some purists come in here and start complaining, I know that that record isn't really the best calculation. It's a good calculation for determining playoff appearances, but you still have games in hand. You still have a lot of other factors. You still have there's a lot of other things that factor into playoff chances besides just your record. It's the quality of your opponents. There's some advanced metrics that go into it too, but there's other ways to determine it. I mean, just look at the record overall. I mean, you're pretty much. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry for the most part. There's some surprises here, but yeah, the only I mean, Flyers are pretty much. What happened to the Rangers, man? They're just you got the Rangers, the Flyers, the Devils, and the Islanders. Islanders have 62% chance. But yeah, that Metropolitan Division, you got people are breaking away. People are they're making some distance. The top teams in the division, they're making some distance between the bottom teams here. You can clearly see it happening in the East, in the Western Conference and whatnot, and Eastern Conference as well. The Senators are still above 500. I think I mentioned that before, but that's kind of crazy. But here we go. Start of the third period. I'll make a video about this game tomorrow. We'll talk about it a little bit. The Bruins game, not much to talk about, just kind of a stinker from the Wings, kind of an uncharacteristic loss, but that's just what happens. Wings have those games every once in a while, but, I'm getting to the point with the Wings where I'm kind of just like not really bothered by games like that. It's just like, it just is what it is. It just happens. I don't think it's any kind of indication about how their season's going to go. But that back-to-back with the Avalanche at the end of this month, I'm paying close attention to that. I want to see how the Wings perform against the best team in the league, against the Cale Makars and the Nate McKinnons. That's a dangerous, dangerous team in Colorado. I really want to see how the Wings can handle them. They might get their asses kicked. I'm prepared for anything. If the Wings sweep them, I'd be surprised, but I mean, if the Avs sweep, I'm kind of just like, yeah, that. I mean, the Wings have taken a lot of big steps, but I mean, could you really say, they're on a power play now, but anyways, could you really say, the Wings have really arrived? There's still a lot of people very nervous about making that, determination. They don't want to definitively say, yeah, the Wings are here. This is the Wings. This is how they are. They're definitely a playoff team. Going from a bubble team to an actual playoff team to maybe a team that could get a couple rounds deep into the playoffs. I think, is this a first round team? I think I think this team could make could make it past the first round. The second round, I don't know. I don't know if this roster is really built. You got a good veteran presence, but you got guys like Dylan Larkin who haven't seen the playoffs in 9 years. But you got guys like Patrick Kane, obviously winning a lot of cups. He brings a lot of big veteran leadership, but the Wings are still a very young team. These guys are not, your Axel Sandin Pelikas, your Emmett Finneys, your Marco Casper. Casper just had a goal against the Sharks last night, first goal in like 40 games, absolutely crazy. But these guys, they're still raw, they're still a little rough. But I don't know if the Wings are going to. I'm not counting on the Wings to make a deep playoff run. I do think they have a very, very good shot of making the playoffs, but still, you want to keep your fingers crossed behind your back because you don't know. You don't know with this team. You've seen them have some epic, epic collapses. Lots of Detroit teams have had some epic collapses. We saw the Lions this last season. We saw the Tigers last season, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with the Pistons. You never know. Maybe Cade gets hurt. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. Knock wood, knock wood. Sorry, sorry. I don't want to jinx the Pistons. This is the best team they've had in 15 years. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get a Red Wings hat soon. I'm still wearing my Lakers hat because, purple is definitely my color. I think it matches my eyes very well. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys for right now. Like, comment, and subscribe to Detroit Fan Forum and all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later.